Greetings and welcome to In-Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. The Trinidad and Tobago Housing Development Corporation continues to work towards making home ownership more accessible. This includes new methods of making payments via digital platforms. Managing Director Ms. Jayselle McFarlane, she joins us now to share more on this development. Thank you for joining us, Ms. McFarlane. And I want to start off asking the question on everybody's lips: what is the More Ways to Pay campaign?
The More Ways to Pay campaign is a campaign for our customers where we provide an omnichannel experience for payment. It includes digital methods of payment as well as traditional methods of payment.
And I like the fact that you talk about that, because even before we get to the digital, what are some of those traditional methods that people would be accustomed to?
So normally our customers would pay via scanning orders, via check remittances, depositing to our offices, or scanning orders from their salaries. However, we are looking at future methods of payment, and we've decided that we need to adjust with the time and provide more ways to pay for our customers.
And was this something that people were asking for, or as you say, just looking forward into the future, saying, okay, well, we want to make sure that even before you ask, there's this opportunity, like you said, keeping up with the times? What was the big factor, the drive to say, okay, well, this is something that we want to do?
So the drive primarily came from not only from our customers, but the transparency to the business. Via or under the Vision 2030, there are several pillars that government uses that we must adopt. One of them is doing business and transformation through technology. So under these three pillars, we have strong itself in compliance by providing automated ways to conduct business with us. And also because our company has transformed into holding the three subsidiaries and Paul, who does our real estate business or Amity business, and there's Central that manages the investment properties. The investment properties being our rental properties, and then there's Digital, our construction company that is responsible for constructing our customers. And so because of this transformation, we get to look at business, we will look at people, processes, and systems. And in terms of systems and processes, we know what have found itself as one of the ways to transform.
Okay, and let me just read and spell for me, making sure, stating categorically that this also takes into consideration rentals as well as mortgages.
Well, actually, not necessarily mortgages, we do mortgages. However, traditional mortgages, yes. So, under the new mortgages, once a person, our customer, will purchase a unit via and make remittances via a loan, which comes from mortgage financial institutions such as CPMF or the bank. And so, with that method of payment, it will be a one-time transaction only. However, for those customers who are in the rental of the thing, the more ways to pay is very important. And so they would have various ways to pay, including the traditional, but now we have new ways on the TPINC, on the TSPP, on the rental pay, and now NL.
And what goes into deciding, this is a partner that I want to work with? Why decide, okay, well, we're going to use this platform, we're going to use this platform, we're going to use this method of payment? What are some of the things you were looking at?
So we need to partner with government and state entities, and so NLPP was right for that. NLPP has over 1,350 regions throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. So it means that our customers, if we have a customer who has been maybe transferred to Tobago, they will still make their payment to by the digital operation. their mandate, they would look at tailored ways or methods of providing financial services to not only Trinidad and Tobago, but to the wider region. And they will have launched their payment platform, of which is the first state agency on that platform.
And then read and spell for me now, please, Ms. McFarlane. I have the money in my hand. I want to make my payment, and I'm going to an NLCB outlet. How do I move from having the money in my hand to making that payment?
All right. So when our customers go to they have to provide the people their account number. The agent then data enters this information on their system. The customer makes the payment. The agent prepares the receipt and issues the receipt to the customer. The customer reviews the receipt and ensures that everything is correct. The account number is correct. The name is correct. And of course, the amount that is correct. And that's it. It's as simple as one, two, three. This payment now gets to the registry book via a file transfer. The customers, once they are registered, they see online on their account. And it's that simple. No waiting in line, no having to find parking, no having to, I don't know, send someone down. I mean, it's very simple. It's extremely convenient.
I'm glad to hear that, because that access is something that sometimes can turn people off, make them say, okay, well, I need to take this time out of my schedule to make sure I get this done. And they said once the payment happens is registered as well, you say?
Yes. So payments can be made for as little as $20 on your rental.
Okay. And one of the reasons I was asking as well, because I know that sometimes at NLCB Boost, they like things to be written out or filled out before you approach the actual person. So, and okay, so that's okay, great. And so you outlined some of the other ways to pay, and the same way you took me through the NLCB outlet. Take me through with some of those other platforms. That's
all right. So I'll give you our latest platform, which is our rent. Okay, so I just took you through NLCB. So I'm taking you through our rent. HDC itself has an app. So I'm assuming on both things that we are the first state agency that are app. Our app allows our customers to make direct payments as well. So the customer, the app is downloaded on their phone or on the computer, and they go in and they enter their account information from their credit card and so on, and they make the payment on the app. This shows up immediately on their account. So that's one of them. Rental. And we urging all our rental customers to do this. We have a database of 5,000 customers, and so far since we launched, we've had 2,360 customers, I think, who have downloaded the app and is using it. The app allows the customers as well to do work orders, to look at their statements of indebtedness, because we really get messages from customers asking, how much do I owe you? So they no longer need to answer. They just go on the app, they look at their balances, and they see their payments are made one time. This app also allows the agency to, besides the work orders, to write to the customers again to inform them of anything they can sign, and it also allows them to inform us of any changes that should be made to their standard system. Maybe if they're more occupants in their household, and we would like us to add them. So when there's a transfer of rental, for any reason, I believe the data is there for the future. Apart from that, we also have additional methods such as the shopping, where at any highway throughout Trinidad, a customer can go and make payments. We have our drop box in our offices. We have our customer service fashion line. We have PayPal. We have Google, right? Google something, okay, good thing. And we also have the standing orders from the bank as well as the salary documents from the customers' salary.
And this is sounding so good, Ms. McFarlane. I want to let that statement just take a little breath. So we take a short break and we come back. We're speaking with Managing Director of HDC, Ms. Jayselle McFarlane, looking at the more ways to pay, the way that you can become a little more empowered in terms of how it is you pay for what it is, for the space that you're living in. So we come back after this. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are speaking with the Managing Director of HDC, Ms. Jayselle McFarlane, looking at the More Ways to Pay campaign. And I really like, one of the things I really appreciate about what you've been saying thus far, Ms. McFarlane, is the fact that as soon as you pay with these new methods, it is on. Because I can imagine some people saying, well, I pay kind of close to the payment period when I'm supposed to pay, so I'm not sure if I use one of these platforms, if it will go on in time, so it registers. So once again, let's speak to that directly. Speak to one of those people who are the remainder, the late adopters, because it said it's about 2,300 already
So
have
far,
the app.
correct?
And once again, I think you should dust your shoulders off a little bit.
Yes, I will, I will,
The
I
first
will.
government to have this HDC app, the first
To have an
government
app,
institution to
to have
provide
an
this
app.
secure cashless payment through this partnership, and is really is something to be proud of. But talk to that person who's still wondering, well, I should do this, boy. I should take part in this, boy. What are using kind of working for me? So what's some of the reasons I should?
Right. So it's a convenient basically. It's from a touch on the phone or the touch. It gives you real time information. So you see the payments going through, you now know what your balance is. It's efficient. It's you don't have to find pockets, for example, to find a class to go into a computer or to pay. But it's safe. And so yes, it's the way to go for customers.
And looking at that too, is one thing to say, okay, well, we provide this. We still have the traditional methods, but we're giving you options. So what works for you, that is the thing to do. But you can avail yourself of these new options. But is there something that HDC is kind of working towards to say, okay, well, we have this as a goal. These are some of our key performance indicators to say, okay, well, we're on the track. What is that track? What are you aiming towards?
Right. So agency is really working towards firstly customer service. We believe that our agency should transform its business by being very customer oriented. And in order to become customer oriented, we know that we must pivot on digitization and automation. And so, apart from convenience and so on, we know that this is something that we must do. Apart from this, the agency is really looking at the way it does business, and we want to reduce any inefficiencies in our system. And in order to reduce inefficiencies, for example, somebody pays $100 and it's really 10,000 and giving information to the potential customer, we really want to really reduce this inefficiency and effectiveness by using automation and our tool that we can.
And looking at the fact that HDC is being very forward thinking about this, this is where you are now, and yes, you want customers to latch on to some of the other options that they have. Like we said before, you're giving them options. But what are some of the things that you're looking forward to in the future? If this is where you are now, what are the good things you have in store that you have lined up for us?
So we do have some good things. So one of the things we have is looking at reducing allocation costs. Now we know there's a waiting list, and we've recently launched the tax database whereby all our customers, all our citizens who are waiting on a subsidized HDC unit can go random selection is done, which is done completely through random selection, we would be able to pull the person qualified for the units that we have available to see. So that's one, right? So that was the background or the foundation for improving our process for the allocation. What we do have, to your question, going forward is allocation process that will reduce the issues that surround allocation. So one of the major issues that we have is that there's a tendency towards fraud, whereby citizens assume that their payment is to the employee for houses, and that person actually is not an agent, is the employee, one agent of the HDC. And they are revolutionizing that process, whereby a link will be sent to a person who would have qualified by the random selection process. They will get an email, and that email will ask them to upload all their documents, and from there the allocation process begins. That is coming up soon. Think that might be launched at the beginning. That will eliminate a lot of issues that our customers see, in that they have to come in, they have to bring documents, they need some, they need documents, all the time outdated. So in order to marry the task and that new process, we are encouraging all our customers to go onto the task database and ensure that their data is up to date, that they're being full. When their numbers are drawn or their names are full, we can do a faster allocation. So
And it's
that's
interesting and definitely something to look forward to. And it reminds me of a conversation that I recently had with someone who wanted to get something done in another ministry. But I was saying, okay, well, check out the website. So that you're able to have the incremental things that you need, as opposed to just walking and say, I reach. And then there is this document that you don't have. There's this document that you have, but is not updated as much as it should be. So being able to check that link and check off these incremental items, I think is very important. And it saves you the time, especially if you need to come in, especially since we're getting used to not having to physically reach there as much, not having to find that parking that you're talking about. But in terms of that link and that information, give us that contact information or the where we're supposed to go to find these things, so we have everything that we have in that we're supposed to have, that it can be uploaded to us.
So you can mail us, or you can visit our website to get information. Another thing I forgot to mention is that we are now also on our form, it's on our website. So if a customer wants to get a boundary definition, they don't need to write it. They have to respond. There's a form on our website for boundary definition request. There's a form also for complaints. There's a form for effects. So we're rolling that out. So that is soon, maybe in about 2 months' time. We also have our HDC series, which is something we're very excited about. Our new corporation manager, the teacher, has we probably might want to point it in this way, but we have a team that we're rolling out. So far, I think we've had about 3 to 4 YouTube series videos where our customers can go and they can really understand what it is about. So we totally work on a arrangement so customers can understand what are the terms of their leases in case they did not do this, and they could understand what is the limit of the HDC and what is the limit of the customer, and why we change effect, whether remediation is for the HDC or for the customer. So we also have that. That should be your well. So 3 or 4 has already been completed. There's a critical sprint to be completed, and so this should maybe in about 2 months' time again, that is getting for your customer. So we are doing a lot for customer service and for making us more efficient and doing the business of the HDC and doing what
Look at you, Ms. McFarlane. In terms of about 2 months for the request forms, the items from the series.
Already there. It's already there, but we have a lot more to do. So when I assumed perhaps log on, you can go to our website and you apply for HDC house on the day. They would write about state much of indebtedness. They want to know how much they owe HDC because they would like to pay it off. It's now on the app. They can go onto the app and you see how much you owe. They have an issue with a door, they write to the HDC, they have whatever issue, you now say go to the app and upload it with order. And what we're challenging our staff to do even more is to have a time frame within which you give us after the completion. So providing that it's part of the arrangement. So for example, we've gotten a request from the done app where a person would like to install electric outlet because they have an electric car and they would like us to, but that is not. So our staff members do that. If those are those areas that are within the student so we're challenging our staff as well to improve the customer services for our customers.
And what it also feels as though is a portal of information. So looking at, like you said, the business of HDC and serving the customers in a manner that is transparent, accountable. I'm really glad that we had this conversation, Ms. McFarlane. So thank you so much for making the time and sharing so that we know some of the things that, one, are already on the ground, have been phased in already, and two, things that we can look forward to. And on behalf of the entire TTG News team, this has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. We've been speaking with Managing Director of HDC, Ms. Jayselle McFarlane. We started off talking more about the More Ways to Pay campaign, but there was so much more in the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.